Peace. This is Anpu with another video on Astral travel. For those that just tuning in, I've been documenting my astral travel experiences since 2012. I've been having these amazing experiences. Don't know why, don't know how. Well, I'm figuring it out how a little bit because I've been documenting it. And for those that have been following me, I'm pretty sure you have picked up a routine of what causes these experiences. Some people just have it, some people just don't. I'm very spiritual. I'm not religious, but very spiritual, and I respect all religions. And I believe there's truth in all religions. I just don't believe in just one belief system when it comes to religion. So therefore, since 2012, I've been having these experiences, these out-of-body experiences. I know it sounds crazy for those that's not in tune with this type of information, but you also probably have these experiences and probably just don't know or just can't remember, because that is the main key. The main key when it comes to dreams and astral traveling or astral projecting is all about having a good memory. And so my last experience that I had was in January, and so it's been like 5 months ago, and I did it on, if you want to check it out, it's video Astral Travel number 42. So this will be my astral traveling experience number 43. So 43 times I've done it since 2012. By now, it's part of my life. There's something that I can't change. This is not something I'm making up. I don't gain anything from making up these experiences. I don't do this to get more subscribers on YouTube. I honestly do this to spread the message, to assert information, and just spread knowledge, and just connect with those that have this experience or is interested in this type of phenomenon. So, like I said, I've been doing this astral traveling for a very long time, and it's been a long journey. I'm still learning, still trying to figure out, certain things, and just journeying the realms and trying to understand it more. So, let me jump right into the experience that I had, and which was, last night. So it was June 19th, 2019. So like I said, I had one so far in January starting this year. So this will be the second I've had this year. So, and like I said before in my past videos, if you've been following my past videos, I realized that when I break my sleep pattern and then go back to sleep, something happens, right? I fool the mind, right? So the body will be asleep and the mind be awake. And this is how you're able to disconnect from this physical world and then into the spiritual world. Now, this spiritual world I'm speaking about, it could be many dimensions, right? A lot of the times in my experiences, I've always spoke about the fourth dimension, and I always say that the fourth dimension looks just like your surroundings right now. I've been to higher dimensions. I've dealt with other entities. I've dealt with shadow beings. I've dealt with ETs. I've seen unidentified flying objects. I've done amazing things as far as my own abilities. And it's just been amazing. And I've had so many experiences. Like I said, this is number 43. So like I said, I don't gain nothing by telling people this. I'm not looking for millions and millions of subscribers. When I started this channel just dealing with spirituality, I knew that I wasn't going to have a lot of subscribers, and I wasn't trying to do this for that. It's not what I'm doing it for. Because at the end of the day, half the world is asleep, right, to what's really going on. So, of course, you're not going to get a lot of attention when it comes to this type of subject. Some of them are very on the spells when it comes to religion, so they don't believe it. So, half the world are religious. But then you have the open-minded individuals like you that are watching, and I want to thank you for watching, because you can learn a lot. So, so when I see low views on my videos, I never get upset because I know it's only for the chosen few. It's not for everybody. So for those that clicked on this video and watching it, I want to say thank you and share it with those who are worthy of this information. This is not for everyone. I think it's important to share the information to the world. Don't get me wrong. The world needs to be on this type of level of information because then it will end a lot of corruption and hate and evilness that this world is going through, since the dawn of time. I'm not going to say just now because evil acts has been going on for eons. So, like I said, I just, I put this out here, this information out there to help others. And for those that are very interested in this information, I call myself like a dreamologist. I study dreams. I read a lot of books on dreams. And I dream every day. So I'm a type of person that dreams every day. And for those that have that ability, you know what I mean. It's very difficult to live that type of lifestyle because it's like you're living in two worlds. Most of the time, you won't remember a lot of fragments of the dream, but most of the time I remember most of the dreams. And sometimes I might wake up in the middle of the night and then go back to sleep and have another dream. So, sometimes you'll have like different segments of dreams. I dream every day. And on top of that, I astral travel. So basically, dreaming and astral traveling is basically the same thing. So if you're a dreamer and you have dreams, you're astral traveling. Even if you don't remember, you're astral traveling. Your spirit, your soul leaves your physical body every time you rest your head. So what I'm speaking about is not something that we all can't relate to because we all do it. It's just that you can't not remember. I remember. I can remember my experiences when I have out-of-body experiences. They're very rare, and when I'm having these experiences, I'm very conscious. Sometimes I'm not as conscious because these realms are very tricky and you can be fooled and tricked by your surroundings and it won't register yet until you go back to your body. And this is pretty much what happened with this experience. So let me go into it. Like I said before, when I break my sleep pattern, because last night I got home from work, showered, took ate some dinner, watched some TV, a little bit of TV, and I was exhausted. So what happened was after I ate whenever, I fell asleep on the couch, and I was sitting up because, I don't want to lay down and sleep and then end up with acid reflux. That comes with with age. So I was sitting up on the couch and I was like knocked out. I was in a real deep sleep and I slept till like 9 o'clock. I woke up, walked around a little bit, got on the computer and did some research because I'm always researching. And then, I prepared for the night to go to bed to, prepare for the next day. So then I broke my sleep pattern around 9 o'clock. Then I went back to sleep, like I say, like an hour, like 10 o'clock, 10:30. And when I went back to sleep, I was dreaming, right? I'm in the dream realm. And like I said, when you're dreaming, I'm not conscious. I'm just playing out the role. I'm just going with the flow, right? I'm not conscious of what's going on. And sure enough, the vibration started. So that's always the case when I'm about to astral travel. Not always, but most of the time. So I felt this energy, right? This is what wakes me up within the dream. So I could be dreaming out and then the vibration just hits you. Boom. Boo, 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 boo. And that's what it sounds like. It sounds like, I always says it sounds like a vibration, like a washing machine with very deep tone. It has like a tone, vibrational tone, right? Like if you was to listen to binaural beats, it has that type of, sound, tone. And with this experience, what I found different, because every experience I have is always different. So with this experience, it was the vibration was going on for a very long time, and I've never had the vibration last that long. And for some reason, I started to panic. I don't know why. I guess maybe because I haven't astral traveled in a long time. I haven't had a conscious astral travel experience in a long time. Like I said, the last time I had it was in January 22nd, 2019. And so the vibration kept going. I mean, I'm feeling it through my whole body. And I was just like, because it was going on for so long, and like I said, when my third eye is awakening and the Kundalini energy is awakening, it's very powerful. It doesn't hurt, but it's a very uncomfortable feeling because you feel it throughout your whole body. So going through this feeling for a long period of time, I'm like, yo, what is going on? So at that particular moment, I try to break out of it. So I'm trying to tap my wife that's on the side of me. I'm trying to wake her up so she could wake me up. And at times I had other experiences. I kind of like, kicked her a little bit, like, because I could barely move. When you have that sleep paralysis, you're like paralyzed. And I'm very conscious. Sometimes I might kick her or tap her. She'll move and touch me, and it will break it. I would like wake up from it, right? But this time I couldn't move. So I tried to speak. And I remember saying the vibration. I was like kind of pushing the words out because it's so hard to even like talk. And I remember saying, oh my God, this vibration, it won't stop. Make the vibration stop. And at this particular time, because usually when I have the vibration, I can just leave my body with ease. Sometimes with ease and sometimes it varies. But I was having this vibration for so long, I'm thinking to myself, oh, I could just leave my body with ease. But for some reason, I just could not get out my physical body. But when I open my astral eyes, of course, I see these arms over me. And it was like two sets of arms. So it was like two beings that was next to me, next to my bed. And all I saw was their arms doing this. So it was two of them. So it was like four arms. I see, So now I'm like, I wasn't freaking out because I'm used to that. Because when you tap into these other realms, you're gonna see things that's gonna scare you. So I'm so used to it. So I didn't have no fear. I was just like, all right, whatever. There's entities in my room. Cool. I'm gonna deal with that. Let me just try to get out my body first. And for some reason I couldn't, so I closed my eyes and I was just like, oh my God, the vibration, it won't stop. And because it was going on, it felt like I was vibrating for like a good 30 minutes. And I'm like, this never happened to me before. So this is something new. Like I said, it's always something new. So I try to wake my wife up. And not knowing that I was separated in my physical body. I didn't know it. I thought I was in the third dimension, but I was really in the fourth dimension the whole time, but didn't realize it. And this is why I say it could get tricky. I'm conscious, but your mind plays tricks on you within these realms. And this is what you have to be careful with to understand what's real and what's not, right? So my girl wakes up from what I think, but she wakes up and she was like, what's wrong? And I sat up and I'm thinking I'm awake, but my surroundings was, I thought I was still in my living room. And the thing was, I was in my bedroom. So I was kind of confused because I was sleeping on the couch. So I'm saying to myself, damn, I never went upstairs to sleep. So now my mind's playing tricks on me. And my wife is, whatever the entity was, took the form of my wife. It really wasn't her. So she was like, what's wrong? And I'm like, yo, this vibration, like, I've never had this for this long. She's like, it's okay. Are you afraid? She asked me. I said, no, I'm not afraid. It's just, I was just a little worried because it was very intense. So she said, just hold on, just hug me and you'll be okay. So that's what I did. I hugged her and for a while, and I'm looking around the room because I'm still confused. I'm like, what am I still doing in my living room? I was in my bed. So then she said to lay down on the couch and just rest. I'm gonna be right here. So I said, all right, cool. I lay down on the couch and I closed my eyes. Remind you, I'm in the fourth dimension at this time. I already separated from my body, but I didn't realize it because it feels so real. It feels like regular, like, you know what I'm saying? So as soon as I closed my eyes, the vibration started again. And I mean, it was powerful. And I was just like, oh my God, here we go again. So the vibration started again. I just said, you know what, I just gave up. Let it be. So then I started saying, let me analyze this vibration. Let me see what it really comes from. Like what part of my physical body is uniting this energy, right? On this level. Because a lot of people say that, you know, the heart chakra is where the most power is at, you know, or the solar plex is where, you know, you see Buddha with the big stomach. You know, they always say that your soul rests in the stomach area. This is where a lot of diseases start from, you know, and then it affects your astral body, then it affects your physical body. So I was really analyzing, like, where is this energy uniting from? And when I really paid attention to it, it was the third eye. I mean, I wasn't surprised, but I was just putting more emphasis on it. I was putting more attention on it, like, where is this energy coming from? And it was directly my third eye. I mean, it was so strong. It was as strong as here. And when the vibration was going, it felt like a liquid, like a spiritual liquid, which is like going down my body. Like if it was releasing a chemical that was going down through my whole body. It was like liquid. It was thick like honey. It was like I could feel it like just oozing down. And then the vibration, like I was analyzing it, it was throughout my whole entire body. I mean, from my toes to the tip of my head. But it was more potent at the third eye. And I just let it go. And as I was letting it go, a light opened up. Like I just saw this big light getting brighter and brighter. I felt like my soul was opening up. And as that was happening, I started to have a little fear and doubt because I felt like I was opening up, and I said to myself, what if a demonic being jumps in because I'm opening up, right? That was the fear that I was having. I don't even know why I said that to myself or why I had that thought, but I thought that was one of my thoughts because, like I said, I was very conscious as this was going on. So then I fought it, and I was just like, and it just shut. The white light shut, and I sat up. As I sit up, I'm still on the couch again, not realizing I'm still in the astral world, in the fourth dimension. And of course, my girl is there again. Or I think is my girl, but it's not. It's an entity that's taking the form of her. Or I could be wrong. Or it could be her. It could be her astral body, and she's helping me. But she's probably not even conscious of it. So all these things are playing in my mind. So when I got up, she said, "Are you okay?" I said, "Yeah, the vibration happened again." I'm like, "I don't know what's wrong." So she says, "Go upstairs and go into bed." So now I'm thinking I'm awake, but I'm not. So as I'm going up the steps, I go up to the second floor of my house, and it was this guy standing in the hallway, African guy, young African guy. I'm trying to best describe him. He looked at my age. He looked at like mid 30s, you know what I'm saying? Like mid 30s, right? And he was my height, very dark, African features. His clothing was African garment, right? And he was just like, "Hey, how you doing?" And I was like, "Hey," and I was kind of confused. And then I'm like, "Oh, I'm astral traveling." So then I'm like really conscious. Now I know what's going on. So now I'm fully awake. And I said, let me just play along with it. Let me just go with the motion, right? So I'm not sure if it's a shadow being taking the form of this African guy, right? So I'm like, all right, let me just go through it. And so the guy tells me, this is what he told me in this experience. He asked me, he said, "Why you don't talk about astral traveling no more?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, I do talk about astral traveling. You know, when I have the experience, I'll make a video about it." So I'm talking to this guy, like having a conversation. And I said, and I also met this, a wonderful person that's very spiritual and into this information. So I've been recently sharing my information with her, and she's very good at, describing what your dream is. Like, she's really good at that. I'm not really good. I could have dreams and not know what it really means, but she could really break down the meanings of dreams. She's also, very spiritual. So, so I said, yeah, I've been, speaking to somebody that's been, into this information. So I have been speaking about it. So then he goes, you know what you should do? You should learn about, what do you say? Yeah, you should learn about other cultures and religions and what they believe systems on dreams and astral projections. So I was just like, wow. I said, it's funny that you said that because I just bought a book. I just bought this book, and it's basically about dreams and astral traveling, but it's in the context of Indian belief system in India. So, and that was kind of weird that he mentioned that. So then he was like, come with me. He said, because I be doing rituals. So I said, you be doing rituals? And he was like, yeah, but mind you, we are in my house. So I'm like bugging out. So I'm like, you know what? Anpu, just go with the flow. So I go with the flow. So one of my doors in my house looked different. It wasn't even a door there, but it's supposed to be a door there, but it was like vines, like from a jungle. He goes in first. So I go in, I open the vines up, and I'm going in. And now it's like we in this different place. And it's like we in it looked like a shop, like a spiritual shop, like a store. Because he had all types of crystals and feathers and all types of trinkets and stuff that deals with spirituality. And I noticed that he had like this bundle. It looked like a bundle of sage, but it didn't look like sage, because sage is like it's like a pale green. It's like kind of pale grayish green. But his was like dark green that had like spots on it, which was weird. And I see that he had some other ones that were burnt, that were put out. So I said, oh, I see you was doing some rituals for real. And he was like, yeah. And he said, I did it. He said, I just did it. And I mentioned to him, I said, yeah, man, I've been having, the vibration. I said, I just had this experience with the vibration was very strong. And it's been going for a very long time. That never happened to me. And this guy tells me, yeah, I just did a ritual. I did that for you. I did that to you. So now I'm confused, and I'm like, you did this to me? He said, yeah, I just did a ritual to give you that vibration. He said that vibration was to cleanse you. You needed some cleansing. And I was like, whoa, wow, that's crazy. Like, okay, that was different. So I was kind of shocked and just amazed. So, and as we were talking, my wife walks in the room. Like, hey, is everything okay? So whatever that entity took the shape of my wife. So I'm like, I knew. So I'm just like, whatever. I left it alone. So I was like, yeah, we good. Everything's okay. Yeah, this guy, he's very interesting. That's what I said. So then my wife showed me, well, the entity that took the image of my wife, or it could be my wife's actual body. I don't know. She showed me a picture, a Polaroid picture. And within that picture was me and her family members sitting at a table. And away from that table was another table. It was her aunt. And her aunt was, she had like a kid costume on with a big mug, a coffee mug. The coffee mug was like this big. And she had a very mean look on her face. And all I remember saying was, wow, she looks happy. I'm not going to mention who her aunt name is and all that. I kind of figured out what that meant. I'm not going to share that on this video. But, so I go back to the guy. So she leaves. I go back to the guy. And while I'm watching him, he grabs that sage-looking plant. He grabs some of that. And he grabs another plant. And he turns his back. And he's like, got it in a bowl. And he's like lighting it. Like for something like, so I'm like thinking he's going to smoke it or something. So I don't know. So it was like this carpet. It was like this colorful carpet that was hanging from the ceiling, because it went up, came down like this. And I remember putting my head under the carpet. So the carpet was laying on the back of my neck. And he got under the carpet. And I remember he took the smoke and he blew it right in my face. And as soon as he did that, I was back in my body. I sat up. I'm like, whoa, that was a crazy experience. Like, man, whoa. And last night it was like lightning and thundering. And it was a bad storm. So I'm waking up to the storm, and I'm like, whoa, that was crazy. And I just sat up. And like I said, every time I have an astral traveling experience, I like to just sit there and analyze it, and just remember every detail that I could remember. So the next, it's when I wake up the next day, because I know I'm gonna go back to sleep. Because I did check my phone for the time. I always keep my phone next to my bed, and I checked my phone for the time, and it was 1:34. And usually when I have these experiences, it's like 3 a.m. or something like that. But for some reason, it was 1:34 that it happened. And like I said, I sat up, I analyzed the experience, and then I laid back to sleep. And I laid on my back, and I was kind of hoping to have the vibration again and say, okay, let me go back in this. Let me try to get back to the spiritual realm consciously. But that didn't happen. I ended up having a dream. So that was my experience. June 19th, 2019. Until we meet again, journey well.